My name is Don Thayer, and I'm co-founder of P-Rex Coffee.
I'm Susan Thayer, and we are full-time ministry partners with Seed of Hope in Northern Thailand.
So how did God move us from pastoral ministry to selling coffee? That's an interesting story. So we had been in pastoral ministry for 24 years, and in 2020, our 19-year-old son, Parker, died in an accident and went to heaven. And so we continued to serve at the church we were at in Colorado for another year. But after about a year, we realized that we needed some time to lament. And so we moved to Phoenix, Arizona.
We took some time off, and after moving to Arizona, just to pray and really ask the Lord what He would have next for us. And we felt the Lord beginning to stir in our heart a way to reconnect to ministry. And we had been connected to the ministry of Seed of Hope in Northern Thailand since it started in 2012.
The Seed of Hope ministry is a dormitory in Northern Thailand that ministers to Hill Tribe kids. There are no schools in the villages, so these kids have nowhere to get an education, and that affects citizenship and quality of life. And so the dormitory was set up as a place for these kids to come down, gather together in a safe place, be taken care of, and go to school. They also receive the gospel of Jesus Christ as well as discipleship. And our son Parker had been to the Seed of Hope ministry 3 times by the time he was 19 years old. And one of the special things that came out of the tragic loss of our son was that we set up a memorial fund and were able to raise money to buy a piece of land in Thailand that is used for the Seed of Hope ministry.
After our son Parker went to heaven, as a family, we took a trip to Northern Thailand to see Parker land, the land that was purchased in memorial of Parker, and spent time there with our very dear friends Ryan and Rebecca. And it was during that trip that God really confirmed in our hearts that it was time for us to take a step of faith out into a new area that included coffee. And when we returned home after that trip, we placed an order for a lot of coffee beans, 4,000 pounds to be exact. That is a big step of faith. And that is when we started P-Rex Coffee Company. We did that in memory and in honor of our son, Parker Rex. And so many people ask us why we have a dinosaur in our logo. It was something that Parker loved since he was a little boy. And we have an orange backpack on that logo as well. Parker took his orange backpack to Northern Thailand, and he called it his adventure bag. And it has been really so special and so fun to see how God has used something so tragic and so terrible to bring just sweetness and honor out of that loss. The ministry that God has called us into is so beautiful because it really doesn't fit in any box. And we've really said that God has asked us to step into a place of an expanded approach to ministry and missions. We like to say that we have one purpose, and our purpose is that all we encounter may experience the love and hope of Jesus. And God has asked us to do that in 2 ways. With kids, the ministry of the Seed of Hope dorm, and with coffee, buying that coffee from those Aka Hill Tribe farmers and expanding our ministry to the families. And 2 places, the United States and Thailand. And we believe God has asked us to stay in the United States, to be the voice box, the mouthpiece, or the ambassador for the ministry and the work that God is doing in Northern Thailand, but also to be the importer. We are the exclusive importer of the coffee from the Seed of Hope ministry in Northern Thailand. And we believe that this expanded approach to ministry and missions and business will allow us to have a greater gospel impact.
There are 4 ways that you can partner with us. The first way is through prayer. We desire to be prayed for, and also that the ministry of Seed of Hope would be prayed for.
Another way that you can support us is by purchasing P-Rex coffee. You can do that as a one-time purchase. You can subscribe monthly, or you can invite your church to become a partner with us and serve our coffee at your church.
Another way you can partner with us is by supporting the Seed of Hope dorm directly. The fourth thing you can do is, as God has called us to be ambassadors here in the United States for the ministry of Seed of Hope, is that you could support us as well. All profit from P-Rex Coffee goes directly back to Thailand to support our farmers and their families. And so as ambassadors for the ministry of Seed of Hope and for Seed of Hope Coffee here in the United States, we also need your support so that we can live and continue to fulfill the mission that we believe God has called us to. This season of our life has been one of both sorrow and joy mixed together, as often our lives are like that. And a passage that we have gone to for encouragement and for strength is out of 1 Peter 1, verses 6 and 7. In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And it is our desire to honor the Lord as we walk through both the joy and the sorrow that this life brings us.